Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It is Monday. It is the 18th of November. We have seen warm, record-breaking temperatures, a big swath of thunderstorm activity, winds gusting up to 80 kilometers an hour, and over 80 unconfirmed tornadoes down towards the United States.
Yeah, and very extensive power outages still up through York region. We have power back on in the Bradford area, but Aurora, maybe the next hour they should have it back on. They had two high voltage lines hit each other in Aurora at one of the generating stations, and as a result, that's knocked up most of York region. So up in Uxbridge area still out.
Yeah, I think the latest update was 60,000 people.
Yeah, so they're starting to get it back on, but they figure probably 6 o'clock before you'll be back on in the area of Newmarket.
All right, well, this rain, we're not quite finished with it yet. The bulk of the moisture has moved off towards the east, but we're still seeing a little bit of wraparound.
Very extensive winds out to 100 kilometers an hour, so pretty nasty.
Long Point, like just the shores of Erie got hit the hardest. I think our peak wind gust through Pearson was about 80, 87 kilometers an hour, so pretty intense. Temperatures dropping rapidly. Remember yesterday we saw daytime highs around 14 to 16 degrees. Well, now we're only sitting at 9.
But right now, I just checked Pearson, they're gusting about 75 at Pearson right now.
Yeah, it's still going to be very intense throughout the morning hours and into the afternoon before the wind really starts to taper off. Here's a look at our current wind speed, and the gray, that's the wind speed, and that's really started to ease, but we're still seeing some pretty intense wind down towards the southwest. We do have some snow on the way as well, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Too much information at this time of the morning, Tom. Well, with these cooling temperatures, we've got northwesterly winds giving us the potential for some lake effect snow this afternoon into this evening overnight. It's not going to be intense for the city of Toronto, but some areas just north of the city could see accumulation, and even down towards Kitchener, you can see a little bit of snow. Tomorrow, temperatures a little bit more seasonal. We're looking at 4 degrees through Hamilton. Wednesday, 6, and then overcast and temperatures still staying seasonal by the end of the week. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Monday, it's the 18th of November. It is cool, and it's going to get colder, and Tom, we may even see some snow today.
Yeah, well, certainly winds, and a lot of folks have been up since 1 o'clock in the morning with these winds, including yourself, and a lot of people without power, so there's a big power outage up through York region. We'll get to that coming up.
First, let's take a look at the wind warning. We do have warnings still in place for down towards the Niagara region, but
it's going to be a little bit overcast, a little bit of rain here and there.
And snow.
And snow. Just had to sneak that in, didn't you?
Well, I do, because temperatures were so warm yesterday. A lot of places were record-breaking. We saw temperatures anywhere from 14 to 16 degrees. They've been dropping significantly thanks to those northwesterly winds, but we all know what northwesterly winds do at this time of year. They stir up lake effect, and that is what we're going to be seeing. We're going to see some bands coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay, accumulating snowfall in some areas.
Yeah, unfortunately, winter is fast approaching. A lot of winter weather out west over the weekend, and of course, that system's starting to come our way.
On its way.
On its way.
Rain at times. There was even some localized flooding reported through transit stations through Toronto. So even though the rain wasn't incredibly significant, some of it came down fast and furious, very localized. We'll talk about your long-range forecast. We'll get into that. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads? Well, we are looking at sunshine, but much cooler temperatures for the next few days. Tuesday, we're looking at 4 degrees. Wednesday, 6. We do have another system coming in, giving us some rain for Thursday. Temperatures a little bit warmer. Friday looks good, mix of sun and cloud, but then we do have a little bit more snow on the way for the weekend. Sideways rain and walloping winds. The Midwest takes a beating. It was the kind of day storm chasers live for. And this one in Illinois raced toward a twister to get that perfect shot. It's generally in the late spring and early summer. The rest of the Midwest and the South also took a beating. Sideways rain and wind in some way by Sunday's weather. The system that shook the U.S. is partially responsible for the intense wind and rain that ripped through southern Ontario last night and into this morning. I'll tell you how the rest of the day is going to play out in the next 20 minutes. We'll get into that forecast, but first, here's Tom Reynolds with traffic. Good morning. It's Monday. It's the 18th of November. Thanks for joining us. The wind has started to ease, the temperatures have started to drop, and we may even see a little bit of snow.
Yeah, the lights are coming on too, which is good news for a lot of folks up in York region. They've had power outages. Still a few isolated areas where power is still off, and they're still working on it. They want people to conserve in Elmira this morning because their main power supply has been knocked out.
All right, well, let's take a look at the wind warning. You can see down towards the south, we still have a warning.
This thing still loops around.
Yeah, lake effect snow could be a bit of an issue later on this afternoon. We'll get into those details in a few moments. Over the weekend, Tom and I participated participated in the Oakville Santa Claus Parade, and I don't think we could have got better weather.
No, the weather was absolutely pristine. It was just perfect. Hand out some of the stuff. There's Kevin, of course, waving the Weather Network flag. So, there she is.
There's my
the
baby girl.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I really don't think we could have asked for a better day. It was sunny. It was warm. We were running a lot. All right, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of this potential snow in just a moment. But first, Tom, what's going on the road? Maybe by the weekend, the lake effect that we're going to see today is going to be very light. It's going to be very, very moderate throughout the shores of Erie the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. We'll talk about that later on. 4 degrees for tomorrow, 6 for Wednesday. Another storm comes in for Thursday, giving us rain. And it looks like our next best chance for snow, as Tom was mentioning, is going to be the beginning of the weekend, barely hitting the freezing mark in some areas. Well, before all the wicked weather moved in throughout the day yesterday and early this morning, we had a lovely time at the Oakville Santa Claus Parade. Once you get walking, I was shedding layers, literally. It was such a great day. It was beautiful. Unfortunately, the weather took a bit of a turn, and yesterday it got quite severe, especially down towards the United States. And we'll take a look at some interesting information. 81 unconfirmed reports of tornadoes. So it has been very, very intense. And just a look at some of the video. This is through Washington, Illinois. Area got hit incredibly hard. Now, these are the types of storms that storm chasers literally live for. And he has an update on your morning commute. We'll talk about what's happening throughout the United States. Before we get to Kevin, he joins us in Burlington this morning. Now, it was the kind of day that storm chasers live for, and this and early summer. The rest of the Midwest and the South also took a beating. Sideways rain affected in some way by Sunday's weather. All right, we're going to check in with Kevin Yard. He joins us live this morning in Burlington. Temperatures are on their way down. It is going to be much chillier this afternoon, isn't it, Kevin? Good morning. It's Monday. It is the 18th of November. Hard to believe we're almost at the end of the month, Tom. We're so close.
I know. It's just flying by, and December not far away. Christmas not too far. I have to congratulate Hamilton Tiger Cats for their win over the Argos. I was hoping the Argos, but hey, way to go, Hamilton.
I was hoping Hamilton. They're off to Regina.
I know they are indeed. So it's going to be an interesting time in Saskatchewan.
I'm going to post something on my social media later on this morning of Chris Murphy wearing Chris May's tie-cut jersey.
It's going to hate it. He's going to hate that.
It goes down to like here on him.
It's going to burn. It's going to burn his skin. It's going to be so bad because he's such a staunch Argo fan.
Oh, well, we've got wind easing this morning. That's good news. Kevin Yard joins us at the waterfront in Burlington. Kevin, people are still dressed like it's winter. Well, at least you are. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, we still do have a wind warning in place for the Niagara region. We are going to continue to see winds gusting close to 80 kilometers an hour. Yesterday, we saw winds gusting close to 100 kilometers an hour in some areas, so it's no wonder that gazebo ended up in the field. Here's a look at the radar. The bulk of the moisture now off towards the east. We are seeing a few wraparound showers, but for the most part, that has eased. The winds are really starting to ease as well. The peak wind gusts now are at about 56 kilometers an hour through Toronto, 48 in Hamilton, and about 44 through Newmarket, compared to yesterday where last night, I should say, as of about 4 a.m., we saw wind gusts close to 100 kilometers an hour through Kitchener. We got up to 87, and through Port Colborne, 106, so pretty intense. We'll talk more about your long range in a moment, but first, Tom, any delays? Well, we are going to see temperatures stay cool for the next few days. We're looking at 4 tomorrow, 6 for Wednesday, and then we've got a new system coming in for Thursday, giving us the chance of some showers. Friday, we're looking at some sunshine returning, and then our next best chance for snow is coming in through Saturday. Temperatures barely hitting the freezing mark, and it looks as though winter has arrived throughout the GTA. We've seen a lot of wind, and temperatures are actually starting to cool after record-breaking highs yesterday. It's Monday, it's the 18th of November, and it's really starting to feel like winter through some parts of Ontario.
Yeah, it is, and you mentioned snow coming in possibly this afternoon. Yeah. It's unfortunate weather's changing, northwesterly winds. We're both suffering today from being up a lot of the night with winds. I know a lot of you will be. I know a lot of you will be too. Those winds were just dramatic. It didn't really matter what structure you're in. You can hear them pounding away out there.
Kevin Yard joins us in Burlington this morning. He's down by the waterfront. And Kevin, winds still very intense, even though we're not in the wind warning anymore. Thanks so much, Kevin. We still do have some wind warnings in place, mostly far to the north and off towards the Picton area through Kingston. But down through the Niagara region, we still have wind warnings in place. We still could be dealing with gusts up to 80 kilometers an hour just along the shores of Lake Erie. The rain, it's off towards the east. We're still seeing a few lingering showers around cottage country. The winds have really eased. This is a good description of what kind of winds we're dealing with. Sustained winds at about 38 kilometers an hour through Toronto, gusting upwards of 56, upwards of 44 through Newmarket, and about 48 through Hamilton. And that, well, look at to compare what we saw last night and through the early morning hours. Kitchener, 87, that was the peak wind gusts, and through Toronto City Centre, 87 kilometers an hour, and through Port Colborne, 106 kilometers an hour. And dun, 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 dun. We've got some snow on the way. Temperatures rapidly cooling. Northwesterly winds over the relatively warm water could give Kitchener some accumulated snow. About 2 centimeters isn't out of the question by tomorrow. Here's Tom now with traffic. Cool but sunny for the next few days. 4 tomorrow, 6 for Wednesday. Rain coming in for Thursday, but temperatures bumping up closer to seasonal averages. It's not going to last, however, by the weekend. Next best chance of snow for Saturday, and it is going to be cool on Sunday. Daytime highs in the minuses. It was the kind of day storm chasers live for, and this one in Illinois raced toward a twister to get that perfect shot. The rest of the Midwest and the South also took a beating by Sunday's weather. We're going to check in through, we're going to check in with Kevin. He's in Burlington right now. And Kevin, it was so severe down towards the United States, but we did not escape the very strong winds, and we're still dealing with dropping temperatures at the moment. It was the kind of day that storm chasers live for, and this one in Illinois raced toward a twister to get that perfect shot. The rest of the Midwest and the South also took a beating. Sideways rain and wind were affected in some way by Sunday's weather. We'll talk more about what's happening in the United States in just a few moments, but first let's check in with Kevin. He's in Burlington, Ontario. A beautiful sunrise, and the winds have really started to ease throughout southern Ontario, haven't they? Monday, it is November. I was going to say October. It's November the 18th. Yeah. We're almost at the end of November, Tom.
Yeah, it's just flying by, and of course the weather changing fairly dramatically. Winds huge last night.
Huge.
Lots of damage done, and certainly down through the states and down through Illinois, just devastation.
Yeah, throughout our news we've been talking about over 80 unconfirmed tornadoes, the strongest one being an EF4. Through Washington, Illinois, and being blamed for 6 deaths right now.
At one point, some of these tornadoes, apparently the devastation was 350 miles wide. I mean, that's massive.
That is massive, and we'll talk more about that coming up. First, we're going to check in with Kevin. He joins us in Burlington this morning. And Kevin, strong winds last night, and some areas gusting close to 100 kilometers an hour. Temperatures are dropping this morning. It is certainly a big change from what we were seeing yesterday, isn't it? You just need to stand there, Kevin, and go, here, fishy, 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 fishy. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Remember that Bert and Ernie skit from Sesame Street? Am I totally dating myself? Maybe I am. Anyways, wind warning in place still through the Niagara region. We could see winds gusting upwards of 80 kilometers an hour. All the precipitation has tracked off towards the east. We're seeing a few lingering showers up towards cottage country. That's wraparound, and then it's going to turn into a lake effect. We may even see a little bit of snow. The winds have really started to ease. We're still seeing gusts around 40 to 50 kilometers an hour throughout the GTA, but yesterday and even early this morning, it was intense. Peak wind gusts reported close to 90 kilometers an hour through Kitchener and through Toronto City Centre. Port Colborne got up to about 106 kilometers an hour. Here comes the lake effect snow. Like I said, it's going to be lake effect. Those northwesterly winds coming over the relatively warm water could give some areas accumulation. Talk more about this in a moment, but first here's Tom. Apparently I've been hanging out with you a little too long, Tom. Apparently that Sesame Street joke was more up your alley, not mine. 4 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be cool. 6 for Wednesday. Rain coming in for Thursday. Temperatures are going to stay closer to seasonal values. Next best chance for snow coming in on Saturday. Good morning. It is Monday. It is November the 18th. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Weather Network. We are Canada's #1 most reliable and complete forecast.
And that's right.
I totally
complete,
got it wrong.
Complete and accurate forecast. And you're absolutely right. And you know, we forecast wind yesterday, and we totally got it.
We
a
sure
lot
did.
a lot of people, including Emily and myself, are both sleep deprived
That's why.
Because of the wind last night.
Oh my! Missing up my words.
That's right. It's windy still out there. But it is definitely, a lot of people are going to be suffering today.
Yeah, absolutely. And temperatures are dropping significantly, so much so that when we do see those northwesterly winds come over the lakes, that we could actually see some snowfall through the city of Toronto today. A little bit more mixing than accumulating snow, but still, it's going to feel more like winter than spring, like it did yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we just love winter. We're going to embrace it and love it, and more snow, the better.
Absolutely. All right, Kevin Yard joins us in Burlington this morning. And Kevin, winds yesterday were close to 90 kilometers an hour. This is more so last night and early this morning. This morning, they have eased significantly, and temperatures are pretty much dropping as we speak. Kevin, are you tooting your own horn? All right, well, over the weekend, myself, Kevin, and Tom, we were all in the Oakville Santa Claus Parade, and we had such a good time. We got to meet so many of our viewers. It was lovely to meet you, and we just had, well, it was gorgeous. The weather was amazing. Couldn't be beat. Today, a bit of a different story. It is cooler. It is kind of gloomy. We do have that wind warning in place still for the Niagara region. Most of the rain, however, is tracked off towards the east, and the winds are really starting to ease. But I just want to show you this really quickly, so I'm going to flip through these. Here we go. Lake effect snow possibility through tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about this in a moment, but first, here's Thelma traffic. Well, we are going to be seeing sunshine for tomorrow and into Wednesday. By Thursday, we've got more rain on the way, and temperatures are going to be closer to more seasonal averages. Next chance of snow is going to come in first day of the weekend on Saturday. It was the kind of day that storm chasers live for, and this one in Illinois raced toward a twister to get that perfect shot. The rest of the Midwest and the South also took a beating. Sideways rain and wind weather. We're going to check in with Kevin Yard because Southern Ontario did not escape yesterday's intense weather. We saw very gusty conditions, but warm temperatures. This morning, Kevin, temperatures are dropping, so good to see you've got your parka on. It was the kind of day storm chasers live for. And this one in Illinois raced toward a twister to get the perfect shot. The rest of the Midwest and the South also took a beating. Sideways rain. We're going to check in with Kevin Yard. He's in Burlington, Ontario this morning, and Southern Ontario did not escape yesterday's weather. We did see some very severe wind moving through the area, but Kevin, the winds have eased slightly this morning. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Monday. It is the 18th of November. It is going to be much cooler this afternoon than it was yesterday afternoon, but the winds are going to be much calmer, which I think a lot of people will be happy about.
And it's going to, yeah, that's right. We had very high winds, a lot of damage, and the folks in Hamilton are going to be happy, and the folks in Toronto aren't. Chris May is going to be happy, and Chris Murphy isn't.
Oh,
the
I
Hamilton
have to post the
Tiger
picture.
Cats, they did a good job.
I have to post the picture. Did you see Chris Murphy wearing the
I
90?
haven't, because I thought it might burn his skin.
It's down to here. He's wearing Chris May's jersey, Tiger jersey, and it's down to there. Yeah. I'm not kidding you. It's like a 90. It is.
The Hamilton Tiger Cat 90.
Yeah, on Chris Murphy.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Okay, I'll post a picture on Facebook soon. Okay, we're going to check in with Kevin. He's in Burlington this morning. And Kevin, it's still quite gusty, but certainly not as bad as it was last night and earlier this morning.
Good.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Sweet. Happy or hoppy? I think it was happy, but I'm not sure. All right, Niagara Falls still in a wind warning. We still could be dealing with gusts anywhere from 50 to 80 kilometers an hour. Snowfall on the way. I know, we went for well above record-breaking temperatures yesterday to the potential for some lake effect snow. It is literally just going to be flurries for the city of Toronto. We could even see some mixing this afternoon and in through this evening in the morning, but sunshine feeling closer to -4. It's areas further north that we could see the heavier accumulation. So keep that in mind if you are going to be traveling. Even in Kitchener, we could see a few centimeters. All right, your long-range details are coming up. But first, Tom, give us an update on some of those delays. It's going to be sunny, but it's going to be cold for the next few days. We're only looking at a high of 4 tomorrow, 6 for Wednesday. Rain coming in for Thursday. By Friday, we're looking at 5 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. And our next best chance for snow is going to be at the beginning of the weekend. The temperatures are going to be chilly. By Sunday, it's actually going to feel closer to -10 when you factor in the wind chill. Hello, winter. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. We are Canada's #1 source for complete and accurate weather. I'm Emily Vukovic, and temperatures are no longer above seasonal. That's right. The wind last night ushered in cooler air, and our temperatures are going to be dropping steadily throughout the day today. So dress for winter. Don't dress for spring like I felt yesterday. Over the weekend, we saw gorgeous conditions on Saturday. Myself and Tom Reynolds and Kevin Yard and Chris May. It was still pretty mild. Sunday, different story. Rain, wind, not great. We do have a wind warning still in place for the Niagara region. We could see gusts anywhere from 50 to 80 kilometers an hour. Today, our temperatures are going to stay coming in, and they're still going to be pretty strong throughout the afternoon. We could still see gusts 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. It's going to be this trough, this lingering trough and the wraparound that we're going to get those northwesterly winds, and that's what's going to be giving us a chance for some lake effect snow. High pressure moves in throughout the day tomorrow, so it's going to be sunny, but temperatures still staying quite cold. Here's a look at the snowfall forecast. We're seeing less than 2 centimeters through Orangeville and in through Kitchener. More like Hanover and Listowel could see about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. So downtown Toronto, we're looking at flurries at best. It's not going to accumulate. You're just going to think, oh, is it snowing? Oh, yeah, I think it's snowing. So tomorrow, temperatures are going to remain quite cool, 4 degrees, feeling closer to 0. And our next best chance of rain coming in is going to be on Thursday. And our next best chance of snow and colder temperatures, it's going to feel more like winter just in time for the weekend. It was the kind of day that storm chasers live for. And this one in Illinois on Sunday. The rest of the Midwest and the South also took a beating, some way by Sunday's weather. We're going to join Kevin Yard. He is live in Burlington this morning. And Kevin, it was very windy here yesterday, but this morning the winds have eased and people are out and about.
One right there.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Edie is one little cute girl. You didn't see her there, but very sweet. Okay, Niagara Falls, we are in wind warning still. Winds could be gusting anywhere from 50 to 80 kilometers an hour, and we've got some snow on the way. I know, we go from above seasonal temperatures, record-breaking, in fact, yesterday, to colder temperatures today. Lake effect snow picking back up. Some areas like Hanover could see 5 to 10 centimeters. It's going to stay cool for the next few days. We're looking at a high of 4 tomorrow, but sunshine is going to be returning through much of the GTA.